Good morning. So today we are going to introduce a new gas law. This is one of my personal favorites. This is the ideal gas law. So we're going to add this to our list of laws that we have learned so far. And the ideal gas law is a single equation that relates pressure, volume, temperature, and the number of moles of an ideal gas. So the important thing to note, the main confusion with the gas laws is not necessarily the math. The math is pretty easy. It's deciding which law you need to apply to a given problem or situation. So take note as we're talking about the ideal gas law that this equation does not evaluate a change in any of those variables, pressure, volume, temperature, moles, like our previous laws did. We were always looking at a P1 and a P2 or a V1 and a V2. This time we're simply looking at the relationship between these variables under ideal conditions. So what makes a gas an ideal gas? So an ideal gas is a gas that behaves according to kinetic molecular theory. We know that our gases have a lot of kinetic energy. They're able to move around. But there are certain instances where gases are not able to do that and don't have enough space between the molecules to behave as an ideal gas. We call those real gases. And real gases tend to be those gases that are under either really high pressure or really low temperatures where those molecules kind of get closer together. So most of the gases that we're going to discuss and talk about and do calculations for in this chapter are ideal gases. So the ideal gas law, I lovingly call PIV-NERT. Okay, so I'm going to get out my handy dandy highlighter. So this is the ideal gas law. So PV equals nRT, so pressure times volume equals N, so that's a new variable. That's the number of moles of a gas. R is a constant, so that universal gas constant. So that's a new variable for you. And then T, temperature. So some units, your units are going to be pretty important as you're plugging into PV equals nRT or PIV-NERT. And they have to follow along with this universal gas constant. So these, units for the gas constant look like this, right? So we have either ATM liter per mole K or kPa liter per mole K. So depending on the unit for the pressure that you're given, you're going to have to choose between these two gas constants. Okay, so 0.082 if it's ATM or 8.31 if it's kPa. Okay, and again, because that gas constant has liters in it, your volumes are going to have to be in liters. You're going to have moles. So if you're given grams in an equation, you're going to have to convert to moles using the molar mass. And as we've been doing all along, our temperatures will have to be represented in Kelvin to be able to plug into PIV-NERT. So this is a really important equation to know. So put a star next to that, highlight it, put a box around all of this information. So that's really important information. Okay. So let's look at what a few example problems might look like. So at what Celsius temperature, so we're solving for T, does 0.815 moles of an ideal gas occupy? 33.7 liters, right? So this is N. This is our V. And a pressure of 108.1 kilopascals. So this is our P. Okay, so we have our equation, which is PV equals nRT. And what we're going to be solving for is our T. So what I like to do is I actually like to rearrange the equation before I even plug in. So So if I divide both sides by NR, what I'm left with is my T. And then we also have to decide which R value we're going to use. So again, our value depends on our pressure units. So if we go back, oh, that's not going to work. We would use our 8.31 kPa liters over mole K. Okay, so let's go ahead and plug into this equation. So we've already solved it for T, which will be easy. And then we have our pressure, which is 108.1. We have our volume, which is 33.7. We have our moles, which is 0.815. And then our R value, which is 8.31. So we just go ahead and plug this into our calculator. Remember, if you're plugging it all in one step, you're going to want parentheses around that denominator. Otherwise, you're going to get a funky value due to order of operations. So it's 108.1 times 33.7. And then I'm going to divide that by, in parentheses, 0.815 times 8.31. And what I get, and I'm going to go with, let's see, my least number of sig figs, which would be 3. So I'm going to take my 537.8 and round it to 538. Now remember that's Kelvin, and our problem is asking us for Celsius. So what do we have to do? We have to subtract 273 from 538. So 538 minus 273, and that gives me 265 degrees Celsius. It's pretty high temperature there. All right, so that's one example. Now, if we look at our second example, this time we're given grams of oxygen gas. So remember, that's our mass, but we're going to have to use that to get our moles, okay? We have 88.4 kPa, which is our P. And then we have 19 degrees Celsius, which is our T. So if we just want to go ahead and add 273 to 19, so 273 plus 19 gives us 292 K. All right, and what we can do is we can go ahead and we can convert our 3.760 grams of O2, right? And we want to use our molar mass. So 1 mole, and we're going to use 32 grams per mole since it's O2. You have to take your 16 times 2, so 32.0 grams. So essentially we take our 3.760 and we're going to divide by 32. Right, we need 4 sig figs because we started with 4 sig figs. And we get 0.1175 moles. All right, so we're going to use our Pivnert. I keep shrinking my screen. So PivNert, and if we're solving for volume, we basically divide both sides by P. To get volume by itself. Right. That way we can cancel P on this side. So V equals nRT divided by P. So V equals N, which is 0.1175 moles. R in this case, again, since we have kPa, we're going to use our 8.31 value for R. 8.31. Our T, which we've already converted to Kelvin, is 292. And then we're going to divide by P, which is 88.4 kPa. All right, so let's plug that into our calculator. So 0.1175 times 8.31 times 292. And then I'm going to divide that by 88.4. And I get a volume of, and I'm going to go with 3 sig figs since that's the least that I'm seeing there in my calculations. And I get a volume of 3.23 liters. Okie dokes. So that's another example. And all right, so what do we have here? We have a few things that we're going to need to convert in this problem. So what is the pressure in ATM? Okay, so P in ATM. So since we're looking for a pressure in ATM, that means we're going to choose our other value for R this time, which is the 0.0821. Our volume is given in milliliters. So we can go ahead and convert that to liters just by moving the decimal place 3 spots. So 0.850 liters. And then we have our T, which is 11 degrees Celsius. So we can go ahead and add 273 to that. And we get 284 for our Kelvin. And then again, we're given grams. So we want to convert that to moles. So 9.44 grams of Cl2. Okay, multiply that by our 1 mole over the molar mass of Cl2, which is 35.5 times 2. So that's 71 grams per mole. Okay, so essentially we take our 9.44 and divide by 71. And our moles comes out to be 0.133 moles. So that's our N value. And this problem was asking for our pressure. So this time I'm going to go ahead and rearrange that equation in my head by dividing both sides by the V. So P equals nRT over V. All right, so we can plug our numbers in and we get 0.133 times R. So again, our 0.821. It's very hard to be neat with this smart notebook. And then our T, which we calculated already, is 284 K. And then our volume, which we converted to liters already, is 0.850